As I said, I was going to view this piece of legislation from a philosophical angle. I feel that today ours is not only an atomic age, this is also an age of indifference. Coupled with that, we now see that it is the age of adulteration, pollution, and age of abject pollution. We find that citizens, even when their interests are concerned, are not interested in trying to eradicate those dangers or defects. Ultimately, the state cannot go beyond a certain point. It is the citizens' rightful vigilance and active involvement which can really do a lot in terms of eradicating some of these social evils. Do we find adulteration only in food articles or only in drinks? I dare say adulteration and pollution are found these days in each and every field. Take the political field, the economic field, the social field, the educational, cultural, literary, and even religious field. In fact, no field of human activity is today left out where there is not some kind of adulteration practiced. The trouble, therefore, is that when we are sitting in judgment over those food adulterators, we are forgetting that in every walk of life where we have certain things to project or inject into human activity, we are also responsible for a number of such crimes of adulteration. Therefore, I feel that when we look at this problem, we should not forget to look at this problem in its totality also. When it comes to food and drinks adulteration, I want today that it is not only injurious to health, but it means slow and systematic and final death. Death may come at the end, but before it come finally, the man is failing in health, failing in the energy, and failing in exhibition because of the adulteration. Therefore, I feel that if you want to tackle this problem, then the government must also, through this legislation, do two things. The minister has already made a mention of it. First is the implementation. Implementation must be quick and speedy, and he must guard against possible increase in corruption also, because after all, when the state machinery or any machinery for that matter has to implement, we must not empower that machinery with such powers that the honest and the innocent are harassed. I know the minister himself said in the beginning that undue punishment and harassment will not be done to honest traders in this regard. Therefore, I want that the implementation should be quick and at the same time proper safeguards should be there to see that corruption does not creep in a greater amount. Stop. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I beg to move that the bill to provide for the prevention, control, and abatement of air pollution for the establishment with a view to carrying out the aforesaid purposes of boards for conferring on and assigning to such boards powers and functions relating thereto and for matters connected therewith as passed by the Lok Sabha be taken into consideration, sir. It is a matter of great pleasure to me to pilot the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Bill 1988, which was unanimously passed by the Lok Sabha. I am sure all the members will agree with me that the problem of air pollution in the country, though not so serious as that of water pollution, should not be neglected as some of our cities like Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, Kanpur, etc. are already feeling its effects. It has therefore become necessary to bring in legislation to control air pollution, as prevention is always better and cheaper than cure, and this is especially so in environmental pollution control matters. Para. Before bringing in this legislation, an exercise was made in my ministry to see whether the existing legislation could be suitably modified to deal with this problem. Though there are certain provisions in the Factories Act, Criminal Procedure Code, and Smoke Nuisance Act, they have been found to be inadequate. Hence, the need for a comprehensive legislation to deal with all aspects of air pollution was felt. An expert committee appointed for the purpose recommended a central act and suggested a draft bill also. This draft was duly examined and eventually a bill to provide for the prevention and control of air pollution was introduced in the last Lok Sabha in April 1987. The bill was referred to a joint committee of the two houses. The committee considered the bill in detail and presented its report to the Lok Sabha on the 18th of May 1988. The bill, however, could not be taken into account for unforeseen circumstances. All the recommendations of the Joint Committee of the Houses have been incorporated in the present bill in the UN Conference on Human Environment in 1987, in which India also participated. Decisions were made to take appropriate steps for the preservation of natural resources of the earth, which included control of air pollution. Stop.